G'day, welcome to Aussievision. It's Kyriakos here and Craig with us today. We just finished
G'day.
watching the Belgian Eurovision National Final, Eurosong 2023, with a very shock winner, Gustav winning with Because of You. I'm going to throw it to you, Craig. What did you think of the win?
So you just described it as a shock winner. And yes, if you're sort of talking about that in the sense of like the build up and who everyone was expecting, but if you watched the show, I was less surprised perhaps than other people. Like every time that bloke came on stage, he got like this massive cheer. Like the room clearly adored him, and he like the judges liked him. They were clearly going backwards and forwards with him, and he just clearly seemed to be a favorite on the night. As for like the performance itself, I can see it. It's a little bit camp. It's a little bit sort of like, we had those two sort of camp bops from Israel and Romania last year, and it's in the same vein as that. But I do think Gustav is a more likable leading man for that sort of thing than, for example, Michael Ben David from Israel last year. And so I can see why people went for it. Was it necessarily my favorite on the night? No. Do I think people are perhaps overreacting a little bit negatively and that this will probably be okay by the time we get to May? Yes. I think it's basically a workable performance. He can sing, he can hit all the notes, he can dance, it's high energy. Really, other than the fact that we were all very into other songs in this isn't necessarily a bad choice, I don't think.
Yeah, I do think it's a shock winner because I think people were not expecting this. Like before the show, he was probably not as talked about as much in the fandom, in the
I
bubble
forgot he
of,
was in it.
okay, well, there you go. But when rewatching his performance a couple of times now, his vocals on point. There's something about the
Mhm.
song. The audience really did get into it. It's got that, is it late 90s, early 2000s feel vibe,
Yeah.
probably somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
No, I
Um,
agree.
with whether it's dated, whether it's coming back, I don't know. But the performance as a whole, as a package, does actually really work. So
Mm.
if we run through the jury top three, we
Mm-hmm.
had Gala, who came first with
Mm-hmm.
146 points. Is it Shireen?
Shireen is fine.
Shireen. She came second with 145, and then Gustav came third with 121. But
Yeah.
then in the televote, he came second. So the Starlings got 183, Gustav got
Mm-hmm.
157. What do you think of those results?
So, somewhat as expected, I was perhaps a little surprised that Shireen did as well with the jury as she did. Not because I dislike Shireen, she was my by far my favorite in this whole thing. But when she came out, she had like these weird Picasso eye monster things that looked like they crawled straight out of hell. That her staging was very wild and it's an up tempo sort of bubbly song, and it didn't scream jury bait to me basically, but clearly they liked it. And to be fair, she hit all the notes. I thought she gave a good performance, and I was very convinced by it. I think poor old Shireen may have just got a bit hamstrung by the running order. She was on second, and everyone after it. It was a strong final. Everyone was pretty good, and literally, I found that by the end, I had kind of forgotten her and moved on to some of the ones that came later. As for the others, the Starlings winning the televote pretty much as expected. I think that my understanding is that they're quite established and well known in Belgium, particularly in Flemish Belgium. They were good. I thought they had quite tasteful paired backstaging. I thought it worked well, and they clearly had a lot of chemistry, and that's sort of what drove that one, I think. As for Gala Tagu, she was amazing. I had not really paid attention to her. I knew there was this sort of indie paired back thing, but immediately after she performed, I was like all in on her Team Gala because that was amazing. The song worked. The performance was very Loignate from back in 2015, and yeah, it was good. So am I surprised by the results? Not all that much. I think pretty much, other than maybe Gustav winning, I think everything paired out as pretty much expected.
Yeah, I think the Starlings getting the televote, no surprise there. They were probably the most popular or most known out of
That's my understanding.
those because of Tom Dice.
Yeah.
Um, but I did think maybe Alexander Rybak, the Eurovision winner from 2009, who was on the jury, maybe took some momentum out of their performance after like mentioning that their song does sound like Ed Sheeran, which he wasn't
It's
wrong.
very achieved. He's right.
Yeah, he
And
was
also, I
right.
just really dislike like the whole hook is like life is a roller coaster, and they're singing it like it's like super profound, and I'm like, this is not like deep philosophy, guys. Like this is a fairly like trite problem. Like chill out. But yeah, sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh, no, and Shireen was my favorite. So I did think the running order probably didn't help her. I actually like those little sleep paralysis demon things. I don't know whether they were, but I love that. Like I could see so much potential going to Eurovision. They could have expanded on that or something. It was a very fun performance. But yeah, unfortunately, she didn't get through to Eurovision this time around. Um,
No,
what about any other comments on the other performances, Craig, from what you saw?
got to mention Loredana, who was with like the dated gay bop from like 10 years ago. And like she came out and I was like, yes, queen, etc., all that sort of stuff. And then she had this robot man come out. And like I think my only complaint was like the song was called like You Lift Me Up or something. And I was expecting the big robot man to like lift her up. And he never did. Like I'm like, that's unfulfilled potential in my books. But otherwise, I enjoyed that far too much. I don't think Belgium should have picked it, and I'm glad they didn't. But like, so fun.
Yeah, her performance was actually really good. It really did stand out, especially the robot. I saw you got very excited on Twitter about it. But yeah, no, that was another very good performance. Another thing, just want to ask, what do you think of the overall production of the show?
I was so impressed. I think Belgium has been in a bit of a rut for a couple of years. They like I used to be a very big Belgium guy around 2015, 2016, 2017. Then I went off them. But like what a return to form. The production value was so expensive. All like everyone looked great. Like there were seven of them, and I don't think I can like really put any of them down or take any marks off the staging or anything because they all looked amazing. And the panel was good. Get Alexander Rybak on everything because that man loves to stir shit and I'm here for it. Like every single performance, he'd find something like to, get under their skin a little bit, but just a little bit, not like in bad faith. You could tell, I think he meant it genuinely and constructively, but like it was just enough to cause drama and I was here for it. So impressed. I really hope that Belgium runs with this, even though we're back to the Wallonian broadcaster next year. They should look at what they did this year and build on that rather than going in a different direction, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was totally surprised. Very slick production overall. It made all the performances like really stand out very well, and they sounded really good. Like all the production and the
Yep.
sound was really good. And I agree, the panel, perfect people to put on stage to talk about the songs as well. Yeah, very good show overall. Very surprising. They need to keep this up, keep going with it. Big congratulations to Gustav, who's now heading to Liverpool, representing Belgium with Because of You. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thank you very much, Craig, and take care, everyone.
Cheers.